let's talk about marketing. Let's start with saying I am not a master. I don't have a degree in marketing. I am not going to give you all of the answers right here, but let me get you started with some basics. First of all, marketing, especially as an indie author, but even as somebody who publishes traditionally, people who publish traditionally have to do a lot of their own marketing. Marketing is how we get our books out there. So what we need to do, the most basic thing about marketing is exposure. So step one is you want people to know that you've written a book. For me, this was the hardest bit, right? When you start writing and you start writing a book, it's really personal. Anything you do and expose that you've done this piece of yourself and say, hey, I've done this. Look, I did a thing. And you're opening yourself up to critique. It's hard because as soon as you say, hey, look at this thing I've done, you're opening yourself up for people going, oh, that sucks. And there will be people who tell you that. I guarantee it. One of the rites of passage as any person who puts something out there is going to be that 1-star review. I think every book I've published has gotten at least one 1-star review. I've gotten 5-star reviews, many more, 5 and 4. But anybody who has a book out there, you'll see it in lots of the social media, like, oh, I got my first 1-star review. And sometimes if they leave words, the words they leave, you're like, oh, that's interesting. They're funny sometimes. Sometimes they make sense, but sometimes you're like, oh, there you go. But, so that's kind of my first piece. You have to have a thick skin. Not everyone's going to like it, but I'll flip that around. It's worth publishing because you're going to be somebody's favorite author. Somebody's going to come out and say, who you don't know, somebody from another country, somebody from another state, somebody from another place is going to be like, I love what you write. Do more. And you're going to be like, wow, it's amazing. All right, so how do we do this? There are ways to market that don't cost money. That's one of the beauties of social media. So if you're going to do social media, a couple of pieces of advice I was given: don't do all of them. It will overwhelm you and it will make you want to run. So there's a lot of different platforms. Choose one and really focus on it. Engagement. You need to engage on that platform. So I do Facebook because that's where I have the most engagement myself, and I am willing to spend the time. Meaning whatever platform you're going to choose, you need to be spending 15, 20, 25 minutes a day or more engaging not only with the people who engage on your posts, you need to engage on other people's posts or whatever they're putting onto that social media, so they'll come to your page and also engage with you. You need that back and forth so that your stuff is getting pushed forward. If your stuff isn't getting pushed forward in that algorithm, no one will see what you're doing. So you need to be engaging. You need that engagement. If you don't have things where people are coming and clicking like or love, if they're not talking on what you put out there, if that engagement isn't happening, it isn't getting lifted up in engagement. So that's the first thing. Now, what are you posting? It cannot all be about your book, but it should all be about your book and who you are. Not like, hi, my name is Huckleberry. I am dyslexic. I started off as a math teacher. I have 4 cats. That's not really what I mean. It can be about your personality. So if you go to my author page on Facebook, it'll be about things I find important. Some of it is things that are funny. Some of it are things that are quirky. Some of it are things about be kind to each other. These are things that I find important, but I always make sure to also put stuff about my writing. Lately, I've taken short stories and broken them up into 4, 5, 6 smaller posts and posted them once every 3 or 4 days, just so people can see my writing, see how I write, see the kind of stories I write. They're not like my books, they're other stories. It's an idea I had to bring about more engagement. Those haven't gotten a lot of interaction, but it is a way that people can see and read my work for free on those engagement pages. Now, sticking with things you're not paying for, if you go to a place like Canva, which I'm not getting sponsored for any of this, this is just my method. You can make memes, you can make these interactive blocks for free. They do have a paid version. I don't pay for it. The way I make these videos, I shoot them on my phone, and then I put them onto CapCut, which is also free for editing videos. There's a lot of free things out there that you can utilize. Obviously, I'm putting this up onto YouTube. I have the free version. I put videos up onto TikTok. That's free. So there's a lot of things out there that you can do for interaction. So those are my platforms. I do TikTok, not a lot, not enough. I don't know if it helps me. I do a lot on Facebook. Facebook and Instagram are linked, so you can make it where everything that I put on Facebook also goes up on Instagram. My engagement isn't as high on Instagram, but it's there because I'm posting as much there as I do on Facebook. Those are my chosen platforms. It's about all I can maintain. I tried other platforms. I couldn't maintain all of them. So that's kind of what you can do for free. If you want to up your money a little bit after you've published, your books are probably going to be on Amazon. That's where most people go to buy books. Now, not everybody likes Amazon. Not everybody wants to go there. It is not your only choice. Amazon ads is not very expensive. The thing with Amazon ads is somebody actually has to click on your ad to cost you money, which is why it isn't that expensive. There are classes. So Amazon Ad School, that is on Facebook and a few other platforms. It's a free 5-day class every 3 months. It's in January, April, October, and July. They're amazing. Everybody who runs it are amazing. You don't have to pay for their full-time school, but everybody in there is really knowledgeable, and they'll answer like any and every question you could ever have. And so if you go to that 5-day school, you can ask more than just ads. They want every indie author to be successful, but the free 5-day class will tell you everything about making the ads and the latest on being successful with the ads. So that's one way to advertise really well. Another way is Facebook ads. They are starting to swell as being really good because there's so many people on Facebook, especially people who buy books. They're more expensive. If you tell Facebook, so with Amazon ads, if you say, I want to spend $15 a month, you might not spend $15 a month. It's only what people click. With Facebook, if you say, I want to spend $20 a week, you will spend $20 a week. Facebook will make sure every dollar you want to spend will be spent. It's more expensive. They have different ways of handling their ads. So it's just a different platform. It's a different way to spend money. Now, if you want to get off of social media, you can also go through websites like the Fussy Librarian. They have a lot of good success. They are going to be a website that doesn't charge as much, but they have different tiers. Make sure you're checking the genre and doing that correctly. For free advertising, you get a website and a newsletter. If your newsletter gets too big, you're probably going to have to pay for your website. Depending on the platform, this could be $100 to $200 a year. But then it just ramps up depending on what you do. I've kind of covered all that I spend. I don't spend more than that on any of my advertising because I don't see a return beyond that. But they always say, you need to spend money to make money. Other ways people make money with advertising, you can get a TikTok store and then the TikTok ads would work because every platform has their own ads. So there's a lot of ways to balance your ads with your sales. Next, with advertising, if you think about the commercials you see, be it on YouTube, on the TV, wherever you see them, the rule with advertising is repetition. You're not going to make one ad and it's going to sell all your books. It's that whole repetition and variation. So if you make an ad, alter it a little bit, put it out again, alter it a little bit, do it again. So people see your books. The more they see it, the more likely they're going to remember it when they go to pick out a book. This is where I struggle the most because I get annoyed when I see ads a lot. A lot of people do. So you want to make sure what you're presenting is interesting. So don't just say, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. Maybe put out your book with 3 questions. Like, if you were put in this situation, would you A, B, or C with your book on that questionnaire? It brings out engagement. Someone's answering a question, but they see your book and understand this relates to the book. So be clever about how you're advertising, bring in that engagement, and make sure you're doing a lot. You can do this before the book publishes. You could have at the bottom, out this date, out in this year, if you don't know more than the year. But the thing with marketing is it has to be early and often. All right, I hope this helps. Let me know if you have other ideas you want to share, other questions you have, and I'll see you on the next video.